Hello, I'm here, I'm live, and I promise you I'm not a cat. In case you guys are familiar with the crazy lawyer cat Zoom thing that happened recently, that's the very first thing I'm thinking of right now is, hey, I'm live and I'm not a cat. No cat filters on, I promise. But I am here and we're ready to get started, do some readings and everything. And MJ, if you are here, let me know because I did get your PayPal um, prior to signing on here, obviously. So just let me know you're here and I'll jump right into that because I already know like what your situation is, what the deal is on that end of things. Because yeah, we messaged about that a little bit on Instagram last night. I feel ya. I feel you for that. That definitely sucks. Um, I'm just rereading the question here really quick before I get into it, and just making sure that you're here too. But I see there are 3 people here at least, so 4 now. So whoever's here, don't don't be afraid to say hi. Don't be shy. Come on into the chat. Hi, Siwin. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the live. So yes, okay. Alrighty. Okay. So, and there's something here on Venmo already too. Although I don't know if that's well, I'm good. I'm here and like I said when I first got on, I'm not a cat. Cuz that's the first thing I'm thinking. I'm here live. I'm not a cat. Oh, the thing from Venmo is I think a private reading for somebody. I don't know. That's going to be an email thing to look at later. Hi KB. All right, MJ. So I'm going to start off with you because we already discussed this a little bit last night, and I know what the situation is. So let's just dive in. Let me start figuring out here what's going on. Get the cards out, and what do we need to know here about MJ's situation with her dude? Is he going to stay committed to the situation he's in? All the cards just wanted to flip out. We don't want that. So, yes, indeed. And hi, Heather. It's good to see you. I think we missed you last time. I wasn't live on Monday, but last Friday, I think we missed you. Are you doing okay? I think you're in Texas, right? And I know Texas is like insane right now. So if anybody is watching from Texas, I hope you're staying safe and warm and have water and all that good stuff. I can't imagine. It's definitely insane. Okay. Anyways, let's see what we got here for you, MJ. Let's see what we need to know with the situation. Craziness here. All right. So first card out we have is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is, it's kind of a note to you, I think, that you're going to have to be patient on finding out the answer to this question. Because I think it was really interesting the way that you worded the question on PayPal. I know you said, if he will move away from the commitment with the girlfriend in the very near future, which to me, you know, the key is here when someone is saying very near future, they're hoping that, you know, things are going to change and turn around quickly. And I don't think that this is going to be resolved quickly, unfortunately. I do think it will get where it needs to be, that it will get resolved, but the Knight of Pentacles does move very, very slowly. And basically, if he's your Knight of Pentacles, who is stable and who is reliable and who does always cross that finish line, at the same time, though, he is very slow. And, you know, from what it sounds like he's a solid stand-up kind of guy. So if he believes that he's the father of a baby, even if he's not, he's probably going to do the stable, stand-up, committed kind of thing that anyone in some kind of pentacle energy is going to do, and probably stick it out with her, which is why this once again takes a long time. But let's see what else we have coming through here. Yes, last was your birthday, and then all week had no power. Oh my gosh, it's like a terrible way to celebrate your birthday. Happy belated birthday, by the way, Heather. Um, that's just crazy. Oh my gosh. Because it kind of clicked with me later on. I was just like, maybe that's why she wasn't on. Maybe she had no power, like no internet or anything. But the birthday thing makes sense too, obviously. I'm glad you're okay though. It's definitely crazy. So, okay, let's see what else we need to know here, MJ. We also have the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is it's about perseverance. You know, it's about persevering and pushing through conflict. And clearly, there is a lot of conflict going on in the situation around you right now. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I asked you on Instagram last night, like if you knew that this was like a 100% for sure thing, like in the physical, not just, you know, confirmed by God or whatever, but like if God had confirmed it in the physical. Simply because like sometimes, you know, just our own minds can go to a, you know, bad place, and we can wind up creating situations in our minds that aren't true and don't exist, and then they wind up becoming true because we believe it's true so strongly in our minds, and then that's how it winds up becoming created, not because it's actually happening, but because we created it out of our own dread and our own fear. So I just want to make sure that that's not what's happening here in your situation, because I know I've definitely done that many, many times myself with all kinds of different things. So if you don't have like the 100% for sure confirmation in the physical sense that that is what's going on, in a sense, try to put it out of your head, because you don't want that to actually become a thing. So you can persevere, you can push through this though. But yeah, I just don't want to see you get like sucked into like creating something that may not necessarily be what's going on in the situation either, because it may not be. It's kind of like you kind of can't do anything anyways, even if that is the situation. Um, but either way, like I just don't want to see you get like caught up and wound up into those like negative thought patterns and dread and fear, thinking that could be what's going on if you don't really know for sure. Otherwise, you're kind of just like, you're kind of screwed either way, because if it is true, there's really nothing you can do. And if it's not true, then you're torturing yourself over something that isn't even real. So it's like either way, you kind of can't do anything. You kind of have to like let it go and not let it live in your head pretty much. So, you know, the mind is the battlefield is what it comes down to. You know, we all go through it. The mind is where spiritual warfare and all that stuff happens in the first place. So try to remember that. And MJ, I know, you know, you really get the Jesus thing and everything. So if you haven't read Joyce Meyer's book, Battlefield of the Mind, pick it up and read it, because that's going to help you with all that spiritual warfare stuff with anything in life, bottom line, with anything. So let's see what else we have here. We have the Nine of Wands, which is kind of similar to that Seven of Swords there, of needing to persevere. The Nine of Wands is about the wounded warrior, basically. Someone who's been through a lot, someone who has definitely been through battle, someone who has you know, just been to hell and back, basically. And I feel like this is you. Like you're kind of like the wounded warrior here. You know, you've been to hell and back when it comes to this connection. You've been to hell and back when it comes to you know, your faith and your patience and just like holding on and everything. So, you know, you do have what it takes. You do have what it takes to, you know, persevere here 100%. But, you know, you are hurt. You're clearly hurting. Like that's 100% for sure. But I do think some of this is stuff that like you yourself just may have to kind of step back from, because like I said, in either situation there's kind of nothing you can do. Either you're torturing yourself, creating this reality that doesn't even necessarily exist, but you could create it by thinking that it does, Or if it does actually 100% exist, there's kind of nothing you can do about it anyways, except for, pray for him pretty much. And, praying for him goes without saying anyways. And I know you're doing that as is. So let's see what else we got here, though. Let's see what else. What else? Oh, something just flipped out here. Come here, you. It's like all the way down there. Scooch the chair out. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands. So, the Knight of Wands is someone who comes in with a lot of fire, a lot of passion, a lot of heat, a lot of desire. So I do feel like, he does still have like passion and fire and desire for you, but he does seem to be, preoccupied with this other situation, that Knight of Pentacles. That's kind of funny because we have two knights. We have the Pentacles and we have the Wands here. So it's kind of like the Pentacles would kind of slow it down with that earthy sense of things going on and just like that down to earth kind of reality kind of way of things. And then the Knight of Wands, kind of speeds things up just because of that determination with the passion and the desire. So I guess in a sense, they kind of balance each other out, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Let's see what else we have going on here. What else do we need to know for MJ? See if we get anything about him, like leaving this girl. And I feel like that's kind of like your main concern regardless, because I know that you've asked this question before about him leaving her. And, regardless of the circumstances involved, whether, there's a baby involved or not, I think this is still going to come down to kind of just like patience and kind of waiting it out. And if she is doing shady things, if she is doing things behind his back, whatever it may be, baby or not, once again, there's kind of nothing that you can do about it. You can't be the one to call her out on it or anything. You kind of have to let the divine take control of that situation. And it's like when the time is right and the trumpet needs to go off to kind of signal to him, hey, there's something wrong here, that will happen. You just have to trust that that's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. We have the Chariot. So I do believe there's going to be forward motion when it comes to him. And the Chariot isn't just about action, but it's also about beating your adversaries. It's about beating out the competition. And clearly there is this sense of competition when it comes to things going on with her. So I do believe that at some point there is going to be movement made where it's almost kind of like, I don't even necessarily see him or you in the Chariot, but it's kind of like God is the one, like Jesus gets into that Chariot and he's just like, move, bitch, get out the way kind of a thing, and he's just like, no more bitches, no more side pieces, none of this drama, like a snow plow, just like clearing the path out for things to click and happen basically for you guys. But once again, it's not something that you can make happen. It's something that only God can do in his time when he's ready. And this may have to be like a big lesson on his end. He's going to have to learn if she is doing shady things, whatever it is. Yeah, I just feel horrible. I'm glad he's got his karma, but he doesn't need to stay in the situation. No, he doesn't. I agree, but it's also something that you can't get him out of. And I understand why you do. You love him, you care about him. You can see on the outside of the situation clearer than he can, but that's something that, he has to learn on his own. It's kind of like, I know it's a totally different situation, but it's kind of like if you look at someone who's an alcoholic, for example, like you can, be their family member or their friend or whatever, and you can see them, drinking themselves into an early grave, killing their liver or whatever, and you can tell them, hey, stop drinking, stop doing that, but you can't be the one to take the bottle away from them. They have to make that decision themselves. And I'm saying that simply because, like, one of my best friends, her mom is an alcoholic, She has that problem dealing with her mom all the time. She loves her mom. She doesn't want anything bad to happen to her mom, but it's up to her mom to be the one to say, "Hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to get sober." It's no different than, this kind of situation. If someone's in any kind of trouble, at the end of the day, you kind of have to make that decision yourself. It could be like that with drinking. It could be with that with someone maybe who's going into debt and, they got to get themselves out of debt. There's so many different examples of that. The best thing you can do is to pray for him. And that's pretty much your strongest position in this. And not just pray for him, but even pray for yourself, pray that it doesn't like overtake your life and everything, because there isn't anything that you can do in the meantime. It is literally something that only God himself can be the one to take care of. Your strongest position in all of this is to pretty much surrender, which is sucky, and I get it, but that's pretty much the best thing you can do. Let me get another one, and then I'll get some oracle cards here for you on this. But I understand, the struggle here. And we have the high priestess, which I think is ultimately who you are at your core, and who you need to truly step into being right now, who you need to start embodying right now for yourself. Because the high priestess, she wouldn't necessarily be concerned about what's happening with him. It's like, if there's a baby involved, there's a baby involved. If there's not a baby involved, there's not a baby involved. Doesn't matter. She's not necessarily worried about what's going on with him. And she's not necessarily worried about when he'll be back. She trusts and she knows that he will when the time is right. And when, God does his thing, and God is the one to kind of like step in and intervene and take care of that situation. Like you said, he has this karma. If it's his karma, he's the one who has to learn the lesson. You can't teach him that lesson for him. That's something that only God can really teach him, that he needs to work out between him and his maker, basically. So, the best thing you can do here is sit in this high priestess position. And, she's not a busybody. She doesn't get into everybody's business because she's busy loving on herself, taking care of herself. She's also highly intuitive. So at the same time, if you do have intuition and stuff when it comes down to him, which I know you do, yes, trust that. But even if your intuition is right about this, don't allow yourself to be consumed with that, because once again, that's his karma. It's his thing that he needs to work out. You need to take care of you. The high priestess, she's kind of just like chill, she's not worried about what's going on with everybody else. And because of that, because she's, so good at kind of just like loving on herself and taking care of herself and not like putting her own business on blast, people are fascinated by her. She is like the mystery woman here. So, you can do that. Get a little bit more mysterious yourself, and that may actually kind of, draw some curiosity in out of him to be just like, hey, like he could be sitting there having a difficult time with girly girl there, and he might kind of just wonder, it might kind of just pop into his head like, gee, what's going on with MJ? Like, I haven't thought about her. I haven't talked to her in so long. Like, I wonder what's going on with her. It might actually pique some curiosity in him. So that's honestly the best thing you can do here. But let me get you some oracle cards to see what else we need to know as to what's going on. I'll go with some divine time, because you did kind of want to know like when he's going to leave her. So we'll see if we can get any like timing stuff here, just to kind of get like a trajectory of like when he may leave her, or when he may like wake up and start realizing some things, or just, just something on the when front. Because I know when we're like super impatient and we want to know like when something's going to happen, if it's going to happen, timing may be of the essence here to kind of figure out. So, all right. Hi, Elizabeth. I see you ordered a grande. Cool. Hi, Rachel. And you ordered your usual too. Cool. All right. I will get to everybody as it comes. Just starting off here with MJ right now. because she ordered before I even went live. Like I saw my phone light up, I was like, oh, there we go, it's starting already. And that's always something that you guys can do too. Like if the link and everything is already up there and I haven't like canceled the live or something that night, you guys can always like send in a payment or like your question with that before the live, even for that matter. So whatever you want to do. But yes, I see my phone is lighting up with stuff. All right, let's see what we need to know with the timing here for MJ. We have, please never stop working on yourself. So kind of like what I was saying earlier, don't stop working on yourself here. So, considering there's not a lot that you can do dealing with the situation right now with him, and he's going to have to face his own karma and work his own stuff out. This is the opportunity for you to work on yourself, basically. So yeah, that's, it's kind of like that high priestess thing. And it's funny because we've got like fingernails. We got fingernails here on the card, which kind of reminds me of like a girl going to the salon or something, getting her hair done, getting her nails done. So, working on yourself doesn't necessarily always have to be about like drudging into your own past and being like, what do I need to heal? Sometimes taking care of yourself and working on yourself is like going to get your nails done or treating yourself to a nice outfit or something. So, bottom line is just give yourself a little bit of love here and, work on you in whatever way is going to work best for you. So that's the first thing to come out. Shrug, you don't know. There's no reason to shrug. We know. It's time to just work on yourself. And I know it's an annoying phrase. And I just want to preface when it comes to the whole working on yourself thing and focusing on yourself thing. It is a good thing. And that is something that we all need to be doing. But don't take it into unhealthy measures like I do, because that's something that I learned about myself this week is this is probably why I don't like the whole focus on yourself thing, like super huge, because whenever I hear that, I automatically take that as like everything is going to go wrong and everything's going to fall apart. And that's why I have to focus on myself. Like I turn it into a bad thing rather than a good thing. Oh, we just had one flip out here. We have 777 starseed codes applauding you, unconditional love. So, keep obviously working on yourself and don't worry about him and his mistakes, because it says that like basically the heavens above are applauding you, not him, you. And that's super important. You have so much unconditional love inside of you to give MJ. And, I know that you give that to him, and I know that you give that to other people too. And that's beautiful. And, in the meantime, give that unconditional love away to like other people who are willing to accept it right now, because obviously he's not willing to accept it, at least not yet, not in this moment. That doesn't mean it's always going to be like that, but for right now, take that unconditional love and love up on someone who needs it, because somebody is definitely going to want it right now. It doesn't have to be like romantic or anything. It could just be a friend who needs someone to listen to them. It could be a little animal that's lost on the street or something. It could be so many different ways, but you have so much love to give. So, keep doing you. I think it's really funny that like you ask this question and all this stuff about like, the heavens are applauding MJ and MJ needs to keep working on herself. This is the kind of stuff that's coming out as the answer to your question. So yeah, try not to worry about what's happening with him. Don't try and create nightmares where there may not be any. So what else do we have here? We have create and inspire. It'll set your life on fire, artist. So I think one of the things that may help you in the meantime to kind of just like distract yourself away from a situation from him is to tap into your own creativity. There must be something that you're talented at, and there must be something that you're good at. It could be like it says artist on this card. It could be, drawing. It could be painting. It could be writing. Just something creative. And that doesn't mean you have to be a professional or something at it. It could be just like, coloring between the lines in a coloring book. It could be anything, but just definitely do something creative, because it may help just get some stuff that needs to come out of you. And it may just like help you channel some stuff and not have to be so focused on the negative when it comes to him. It may just like help release some good stuff. So I know, ironic. I know. Isn't it funny how that always happens? It's like, we come to these readings and it's like, we want to know the answers to these things. And then most of the time, the answers that we get, it's like, oh, yes, I already knew that. So it's like, wait a minute, why am I here? Why am I asking this again? It's like, oh, it just confirms shit. Like, and I literally went through the same thing earlier this week. I went to go get a reading from somebody in person this week, not even like online. And the same thing kept coming out over and over again. You need to trust yourself better. You really do know. You just need to trust yourself. And I was like, oh, damn it. Like, I know this is right. So I get it. The struggle is real. We also have deceiving. They might be back, but honey, they be whack. So if he does come back now, I would say like, in like recent time, in the near future, if he does come back, he may not really be fully ready yet, is what it comes down to. That doesn't mean that he won't ever be ready and he won't ever get there, because I do believe he will. But you did have that Nine of Pentacles come out, so I do feel like it's going to be a while. So it'll be a while, at least until he's completely ready and it's completely genuine and he's completely past the bullshit going on with her. But if he comes back right now, or at least in the near future, he's probably not going to be ready just yet. And he's probably still going to be dealing with her. So, once again, it's probably best to spend that time focusing on you, because he has his own mess he needs to clean up. He has his own, clean up on aisle divine masculine, basically, because he's got his own shit he needs to work out. We all do. We all definitely do. Let's see what else we have here. And damn, that TV is loud. My mom is like on a binging Netflix, The Crown lately thing, and it's like that's all I see and that's all I hear out there now is the crown. Like, she just learned how to work Netflix and now she's like addicted to it. She's just like every day, oh, it's time to watch Netflix, it's snowing outside, let's watch Netflix. I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, you're gonna drive me nuts. And let's see, we have balance the mind, stop wasting time procrastinating. So, like I was telling you earlier, the mind is the battlefield, basically. You got to balance it out. The mind is the battlefield. That's where all the spiritual warfare goes down. That's where it happens. All the stuff that happens in our minds, that's the stuff that carries over into our physical reality, basically. So like I said, and, and this goes not just for you, MJ, but for anybody here who deals with like, just like the mental struggle pretty much of things with anything. And, struggles with spiritual warfare and that kind of thing. Like I said, check out Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer. That book is like, I don't know, 20, 30 years old, but it is amazing. It has been like such a rock solid foundation of my own personal faith, my own personal journey. It is Christian. It's not technically like under the spiritual end of things. It's like more like a Christian kind of thing, but still it's all about like spiritual warfare, basically, and talking about how it affects our minds. And it comes from a biblical perspective. So, I it's been really helpful to me, and if it's been helpful to me and I can, put it out there to help somebody else out, I definitely will. So check it out. It's really good. I could probably use a refresher and reread it myself right now, but I can't because it's 2,000 miles away from me back in LA. Um, all right, let me pull one more and then I'm going to go on to the next person. But you're definitely dealing with some spiritual warfare, though. That's for sure. And we have the years will pass and you will last. So basically this is saying, and I know you've been on your journey for a long time. Like I know it's already like I feel like it's already been like a number of years for you. Um, but bottom line is, and I'm not saying that this is going to take years to resolve, but I am saying that however long it does take, that you do have that strength, you do have that endurance. And those cards came out earlier too with the tarot cards about, the perseverance, the wounded warrior, and that kind of thing, that you will make it through. And you are super strong. You are like one badass slaying spiritual warfare goddess. Basically, you got this. So you got it. You're strong. You're in a good community of people around you who are there for you to help you as well, so you're not alone in this. And that's half the battle too, is having people around you who support you through it. So you're going to get through this. And probably when you're not expecting it, probably when you least realize it, that's when he's going to come back, and he won't be whack. And he's going to be like, hey, like, I'm so sorry I've been gone for so long. And he'll probably tell you all about how he was duped when it comes to this girl. And and that happens. Like, guys can be dumb like that. I mean, thankfully I myself have not personally been in that position, but I do have a very good guy friend who was kind of duped in a situation like that, like a super long time ago. So I am familiar from that story, and thankfully I was just an observer from the outside, but I was close enough to it to kind of like know about a lot of the drama that happened within it. And I was like, oh my God, this is too much. So yeah. Anyways, hopefully that helps you out, MJ. You're definitely in my prayers. I believe in you. I know you got this. So there you go. Anyway, let me check on the chat here really quick, and then I'm going to check PayPal and Venmo to see what is happening here. So, yes, yes. Alrighty. Well, everyone seems to be having a good night here. You're very welcome, MJ. Let me log on to, I know we got a Venmo thing, we got a PayPal thing. Why is Venmo being weird? It's like not, oh, there we go. I'm like, why can I not see what's going on Venmo? Okay. All right, I see Cwin. I see Elizabeth. Let me go to PayPal really quick because I'm not sure the order of who is what. But I'm going to figure it out. Either way, I'm going to get to everybody. I always do. All right. Okay, so we got Rachel, Elizabeth, and Cwin. I'm just trying to figure out who was next after MJ. Let me check on the chat here. Maybe I can figure that out. Let's see. Okay, I see Cwin with the Grande. And you're going to, and you're going, and you're going to do a second Venti later. Okay. That's cool. And there's Elizabeth and Rachel. Where are you? Sending love. Oh, sending love and positive vibes to MJ. Yes, definitely. Okay, so Rachel, I think you're last on the list right now because you're last on the chat, at least. So I'm going to jump to my Venmo people. And so what is this? I have like this notification or something here. Oh, I'm like, what's going on here? Okay. All right, Elizabeth, we're friends now. I'm like, what is going on here? I have this notification. What's happening? Okay. Um, okay, so see when you came in before Elizabeth on Venmo, so I'm gonna go with you first. All right, cool. So as of right now, just so you guys know the rundown, I got Seawin up next, then Elizabeth, and then after that is Rachel. So that's the order I'm doing things in right now. Okay, so Seawin, let's see what we got for you. You got a grande, and your question is, why is it that every time my divine masculine texts me, they want to talk a lot, yet I yet when I want to text, they don't say much at all. They basically brush me off. That is interesting. I mean, at least I will say this much. At least he reaches out to you, and at least he texts you, and at least he talks a lot. Like, I'm speaking from someone who their person is as quiet as can be. Like, that's something to be thankful for. Um be thankful that he does reach out to you. Be thankful that he does um text you, and that, and that when he texts you, it's not just, a quick little sup or something like that, but that he is being talkative, that he does definitely want to talk to you. So that's a good thing. Take that as a positive thing, number one. But we will find out why he is quiet when you're the one who interacts and engages. So we'll see what we got here. The only other thing I can think of too is just because, usually it's the uh they blow fire and snow or ice. Yeah, well, the whole hot and cold thing. I get it. Um And the other thing too is, like, masculines, they are supposed to be the ones who are the providers, the protectors. They are the ones who are supposed to do the pursuing and everything. So it makes sense if when he texts you, he's the one who's like chatty Cathy, basically, because he's getting into that kind of flow and getting into that kind of energy of like, hey, I'm going to be the one to pursue right now. I'm going to be the one to take action, because the feminine side is supposed to be receptive. The feminine side is supposed to just kind of lean back and receive that and everything. So I think maybe sometimes when it's flip-flopped and you're the one who's interacting first, being more of like the masculine type in that moment, I guess you could say, maybe it's weird for him because he doesn't necessarily know how to get into his feminine side and be receptive of that being flip-flopped, since we do have both aspects inside of it. So that could be a part of it if we're just going based off of energy there. But let's see what the cards say. Why he's like that. What the deal is. But like I said, just be grateful he's even talking. Because there's so many people where it's just like, they don't talk to me at all. Why are they quiet? Kind of a thing. All right, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is about hard work, basically. Someone working really hard, and if you notice, like, there's two different Pentacle cards here that can be about hard work, and one is the Eight of Pentacles here, obviously, and the other one is the Three of Pentacles, but that's usually a group effort where it's three working together, collaborating together to build something. So considering you just have the one, though, there's just one unicorn here. We don't have a group. We have three. I feel like there may be times where when you text him, it could just be bad timing. And he could be busy with something else. He could be busy at work. He could be busy working on something else. He doesn't even necessarily have to be at work necessarily to be working on something. I don't know if he has like any, side projects or anything like that he does, but he could just be busy working on things. And it's like, if his mind is somewhere else, he's focused on something else, like working on something else, he just may not be like in the mind frame to engage, basically, and it's nothing personal towards you. I feel like it could be anybody who texts him, or yeah, like it could be Jesus Christ himself texting him, and he could basically react the same way because he's just like, no, I'm busy working right now. I'm busy doing this. So I feel like he just could be distracted working on something when you do. Which I don't feel like is a personal thing, but he definitely could be busy working on stuff. Um, he's probably just a hardworking dude in general. It sucks though because I have bad days and they don't seem to care. I understand. And we all go through that. I think that maybe something that's important to remember when you do have a bad day and when you text him, or if you text anybody, because I go through similar things like that too, not just with my person, but even if it's like I could text like my best friend. She's not my masculine, she's like a sister to me, and I could have a bad day, and sometimes she's not always receptive to what I have to say either, because she's simply dealing with her own stuff. It's not that she doesn't care, but she's dealing with her own stuff. And I feel like that happens to a lot of people sometimes. It's like we could be having a bad day, we could be going through stuff, we could reach out to somebody, anybody, and maybe we don't have the response in return that we would like to have, but that doesn't mean that people don't care. So I think part of that is just like our own expectations. And I think when that happens, it's like we kind of have to learn how to be our own best friend and know how to comfort ourselves to a certain level where we're not dependent on it from other people. Where it's like if people don't react the way that we want them to when we go to them for support, that way then it doesn't become like a huge problem and make it worse than it really has to be. We also have the Four of Wands, so that's positive. 11-11 union, that kind of thing. And he does reach out to you and he does talk to you a lot when he does. So, like being committed to you and, having happily ever after to you and having a good life with you and everything, those things are on his mind. Like he is in that space. So once again, just because he doesn't necessarily react the way that you want him to sometimes doesn't mean that he doesn't care. Four of Wands definitely indicates that, yes, he does care. Maybe this is a love language thing too. Maybe you guys have different love languages. I don't know if cards flying everywhere again. I don't know if you know what his love language is, or if you guys have different love languages, but that might be something you might want to look into, just because that's a huge part of like how we communicate and how we relate to other people. Because if you guys speak different love languages and he doesn't know what yours is and he doesn't know how to relate to you on that, then he can't meet those expectations, not because he doesn't care, but because he just doesn't know. He's ignorant to it. That kind of thing. So I can't remember what it was, but I remember there was an argument my mom and I had not that long ago, because that's all we do is fight each other lately. And whatever it was something, either I said, oh my gosh, Shadow, you are shaking the whole computer. I just realized the whole thing is like shaking. That's because my dog is like leaning up against my computer right now. And he was like scratching himself and shaking everything. Probably looked like I was having a little earthquake here. I'm not, I swear. But anyway, yeah, like I don't know what it was I said or what it was I did, but she told me that like I was ignorant about whatever it was that she was upset about. And it's true, I was. It's not that I didn't care about her. It's not that I was trying to upset her or piss her off, because I wasn't. But I was just ignorant to it. I just didn't know any better. And I feel like more times than not, that's what's going on with a lot of people. It's not that people don't care. It's not that people are trying to hurt you intentionally. It's just the fact that people are ignorant and don't know. Human beings as a whole, we don't pay attention. We just don't. And now I'm about to drop all the cards again here. Okay. let me get another one here, see what's going on. We have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is somebody who has an authentic and genuine offer of love. Somebody who, has a little bit of love in his cup there, basically full of emotion that he would like to present to you. But because he's a page, he doesn't necessarily always take the actions to go forth and do that. The knights are the ones who take the action. The kings are the ones who are already kind of like set in their power and in their strength of having that and everything. So I feel like, he does have love for you. Clearly he has love for you. You have the Four of Wands come out here too. So he does have love for you, but he doesn't necessarily always express it, even though it's there, because pages don't necessarily always do that. They don't necessarily always take that action. So he does care. He's not showing it to you the way you would like him to, but he does. Yeah, you don't know the love. Yeah, there's 5 love languages. This is definitely something for you to like Google and research later. I feel like I'm giving you guys like all these crazy resources or something today. First, it was Joyce Meyer, Battlefield of the Mind with spiritual warfare stuff. And the 5 love languages, you can find all kinds of stuff about that on the internet. I don't have a specific book for you on that, but if you just Google the 5 love languages, or after this live, if you want to like watch YouTube videos on it, just, put in the search bar here on YouTube, 5 love languages, and you will get so much information on them. Let's see, there's like the 5 different love languages. There's physical touch, there's quality time, there's acts of service. What else? There's like 2 more. I can't remember what all of them are, but there's these different love languages. And the 5 love languages are not just about like romantic love. It can be applicable to friendships, family, whatever. It's like basically how we give and receive love to people. And there are quizzes out there that you can even take that'll tell you like what your love language is. And after you read up on the information and everything, and just like knowing how he is and his personality, you'll probably be able to figure out pretty well what his is too. But that'll definitely help you in terms of just like relating and connecting to him better, because a lot of the times when it comes to these connections and stuff, people get really caught up into like the spiritual kind of woo-woo aspect of it. But at the same time, we're still human beings. We are, spiritual beings having a human experience. And stuff like the 5 love languages, those are things that you have to deal with, and just like connecting and relating to other humans. So, some of this stuff isn't just about spirituality stuff, but it's psychology pretty much, and how to relate to people, which is just as important, especially if you want to pull your connections out of spiritual land and put it into something that is physical and real and tangible. So yeah, definitely Google that. Check it out. It'll be helpful. So, and I think I did a pick a card not that long ago, like maybe it was December or something. And it was actually like a what is their love language pick a card. So maybe you want to go check that one out. Hi, Julius. Hi, ma'am. May I ask, I have a Virgo woman I always am thinking of. She's 4 years older than me. Is she into a relationship now? Can there possibly be for me to be with her someday? Thanks very much. Well, Julius, just so you know, as a heads up, I am taking paid readings. I'm not doing free ones. So I'm more than willing to take your question, but the information for that is in the description below, how you can send a payment, because I don't have super chats on my channel. But I am accepting payments through PayPal or Venmo, and that's how, the people who I'm currently answering questions for, that's how they're getting their questions answered, is they've been sending their payments through PayPal or Venmo. And, you just have to choose your order if you want a tall, Grande, or Venti. So like I said, all that information is in the description down below. So if you do that, then I can definitely answer those questions for you. Anyways, back to you, Seawin here. Let's see what else we have. We have the Seven of Swords, which is more about perseverance. I know the Seven of Swords came out earlier for MJ2, so perseverance here. So you can definitely get through it. And I feel like this isn't just about like you getting um, through things with him and discussing things with him. But even when you're having like a bad day and that kind of thing, you're going to get through those things. It's kind of like the whole thing of you just have to remember it's just a bad day. It's not a bad life kind of a thing. But you do have the perseverance and the endurance to get through. That's for sure. Let's see what else we have going on. We have the Page of Swords. So we got the Page of Cups here earlier too. So he's got a lot of love to give, and he has like a lot of ideas, and he has a lot of thoughts as well, because that's what those swords kind of represent here, are our thoughts and our ideas. So he does have a lot of those as well. But once again, he doesn't really express them because we're in a page energy here, and the pages are, you know, more of that youthful kind of just beginning kind of energy. It's not someone who's all about taking action like a knight or being strong in their power like a king. So he's just kind of thinking about these thoughts. He's thinking about those emotions. He's thinking about coming forward on those things, but he just hasn't necessarily done anything with them yet. So, like I said, it's not that he doesn't care. I think he does. He just doesn't necessarily know exactly how to say it and express it right all the time. Let me get one more here for you. We have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, I feel like that's you in this situation. And the Queen of Swords, she is definitely filled with thoughts and ideas, which you definitely clearly are. But the Queen of Swords can also kind of be like the Ice Queen. And I think it's important for you to not go to Ice Queen land when he is that way. Because if you get pissed off, if you get upset about it and everything, and hold on to that hurt and that pain about how he's reacting and how you think he needs to react and stuff, that's going to ripple out, and that's not going to affect him in a good way, and it's definitely going to prevent him from reacting the way you would like him to. So you got to warm this up. You got to warm up that Queen of Swords. Whenever we're in the Queen of Swords energy, that's not super receptive. It's not very warm and friendly and opening. So definitely try, like, I understand you may get upset in the moment, and I'm not saying to not ever get upset or anything, but I think it's important to kind of nip it in the butt when it does happen and be just like, okay, yes, this does bug me. I do wish that he did this differently, but I'm not going to hold on to this. I'm just going to be thankful that he responded. I'm just going to be thankful that he does reach out to me. Think about the positive things. Think about the things that there are to be grateful in the situation than what there is to complain about in it. And then kind of think about like, okay, if I don't like how this is, if this is bugging me, if this is upsetting me, how can I be proactive to change that? What is it that I can do? And one way, is like checking out those love languages, obviously. If you understand your love language, if you understand his love language, it may avoid some of this kind of stuff simply because you'll understand how you guys communicate and connect with each other better. Because I think a lot of this is just misunderstanding. I don't think it's that he doesn't care. It's just, you interpret things in a way that isn't necessarily helpful to you. And I just almost dropped all my cards again. Um, but yeah, hopefully that helps out. It makes sense. Elizabeth, I think you are next. So yes. Did you already post your question, Elizabeth? Let me just scroll up here and double check. Okay, Elizabeth, so you want Milton's current energy. All righty. You're very welcome, Siwin. All right. Milton's energy. Let's see what we got here. What's Milton's energy for Elizabeth? The big purple heart there as well. All right, let's see what we get. Let's see what's going on. Gotta shuffle these cards, mix them up real well. And we have the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is kind of like a poverty mentality, actually. Kind of being in like this woe is me kind of thing. Oh, I know I'm about to yawn because of it. Don't want to yawn on camera. Anyway, but yeah, the Five of Pentacles is kind of like this poverty mentality. We have a couple of unicorns here, and this one has like a little bandage on its leg, and this one's wearing a ratty old blanket, and it looks like they're kind of just like walking along in the cold here. And it's like they're homeless unicorns, is what it comes down to, which sounds so sad. Like, who wants to see a homeless unicorn? They shouldn't be homeless. But yeah, so it seems like there might be some kind of poverty mentality going on here. Since we are talking about his energy specifically, I know you asked about his energy. He could be feeling a little self-defeated, is what it comes down to. He could be experiencing some self-defeat and self-doubt, just not feeling so great about himself right now. So it's definitely possible that could be where he is at within himself right now. But let's see what else we get. See what else comes through. We also have the Six of Swords, which is about taking a journey here, basically. We've got the three unicorns here heading across this big body of water, going from one shore to another. And yeah, I mean, even though he may be feeling self defeated or experiencing self doubt, who knows? Maybe you're the one experiencing some self doubt here too. You could be experiencing self doubt when it comes to things with him. But I do believe that you guys are on this journey. It's pretty much what this is all about, is taking that journey across the bodies of water here. So, I would say pretty much try not to not enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the scenic route is what it comes down to. Like, everybody's all consumed with the destination, and yes, the destination is great, but there's so much to see and do on the way to that destination. So I do feel like you guys are on this journey here. Try not to fall into self-doubt and self-defeat during that journey. Let's see what else we have going on. We have the Chariot. The Chariot's coming back again. So the Chariot is about taking action. It's that forward movement. It's, beating out the adversaries, beating out the competition and that kind of thing. So I do feel like, if you're waiting for him to take action towards you in some way, I think he will. I just think that there needs to be some self-doubt. The self-doubt here, the defeated kind of thoughts, is the stuff that needs to be beat out. Because competition doesn't always have to necessarily be another person. Sometimes it can be the battle that we're waging once again in our minds, the battlefield of the mind here. So it could be that needs to be beat out in terms of competition, is the battlefield of the mind, the negative self-defeating, self-doubt kind of thoughts and concerns and everything that, and I feel like it's on both sides. I feel like you both have, you know, doubts and worries and concerns when it comes to the connection, when it comes to the journey, and when it comes to those things going on. But I do feel like you guys can beat that out. You guys can beat out the gunk and the junk that goes on in your minds. And you guys could have like self-defeated, self-doubt kind of things on both sides. It may not even be like you guys both being concerned about the same thing. You guys could be concerned about different things, but it doesn't mean that, you know, those thoughts shouldn't be there, because if they're negative, self-defeating thoughts, whatever they are, they need to go. Let's see what else we got going on. And my dog is snoring now. He is totally straight up snoring. We have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is someone who rushes in with a truth that they have to share, with a truth they have to tell, with an idea of some sort. So I do feel like he does want to rush in and tell you a truth. He does want to tell you something. He wants to speak his truth. Once again, I feel like he needs to get past this, whatever's kind of weighing him down, this self-defeated kind of thought stuff, the battle that's going on within. So he's going to have to, you know, conquer those worries basically there and those fears. But I do feel like he will come forward to you with the truth, to speak his truth, to talk to you about things, once he gets to that place. Let's see what else we got going on here. And we have the Hanged Unicorn. So if nothing is really happening right now in the physical, this is probably why. You know, the Hanged Unicorn is it's in some ways it's kind of similar to the Hermit, because it's kind of like going within and being reflective and doing your own thing. And it's like there's a whole bunch of internal changes that are happening. There's a whole bunch of, you know, spiritual, mental, emotional kind of stuff that's going on. And usually that's the kind of stuff that will change your perspective. So it is similar in that hermit mode kind of thing in a sense. So I feel like if he's been quiet, this is probably why. He's probably going through his own internal transformation, which makes sense, because if he's been dealing with negative, self-defeating kind of doubt and negative self-talk and that kind of thing, you know, he's got to beat that stuff out. And the way that you do that is by being in that hanged unicorn position. And usually when you're in that position, I also kind of think of it as like the butterfly being inside the cocoon. You know, nobody sees what's going on inside the cocoon when a butterfly is in there, or, you know, when the caterpillar is in there becoming the butterfly. Nobody sees that. You know, all that stuff goes on within, just like, you know, changes for somebody spiritually or emotionally and mentally, that kind of thing. And I believe I read about this or saw this a long time ago, but if you were to actually look inside of a cocoon when a caterpillar is transforming into a butterfly, I think they like actually literally turn into like goo or something. Like they literally turn into like some kind of gooey liquid kind of form. Like it's disgusting. Whatever goes on in there, like it's super gross. So it's definitely something that's super private that nobody else should have to see or experience. So I do feel like he's going through a lot. He's going through a transformation. And especially if somebody is shedding this kind of shit of like the negative, self-defeating kind of stuff and everything, then yeah, that's probably pretty internally really messy for him. But he will come out of it. And I feel like when he does, he's going to speak that truth. Like I said, he's going to rush in, and he's probably going to rush in because he's going to feel like such a brand new transformed man. He's not going to be able to contain it. Basically, he's going to be just like, charge, here I come, kind of a thing. Let's see what else we got here. We have the Page of Cups. We got another Page of Cups coming through. I think it's funny how some of these cards are just like repeating themselves tonight. But he does have love for you. He does have emotion. He does care for you. That's for sure. Once again, it makes sense why he's not expressing it right now because he's going through this crazy transformation stuff, but it is there. And that may be the truth that he may be ready to express once he gets to that point. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, I just had like a little internal burp. Pizza the second time around is not fun. I had like all this pizza tonight. I was like so full. I was like, I think I'm just going to lay down on the cards and take a nap. It was like Thanksgiving pizza or something. It's like too much. And we have the Page of Swords, which is so funny because, like this just came through for Seawin earlier, which was, the page and the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. So he definitely has thoughts and ideas. He definitely has love in his cup. So he wants to express those things. And eventually this page inside of him is going to transform and step up into that knight position where he is going to rush in. He is going to mention something about it. Let me get one more here for you. But he is definitely in that ooey gooey cocoony kind of stage right now where things are a big old mess. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is ultimate fulfillment. And I do believe that you guys can get to this point. You can have ultimate fulfillment. You can have happily ever after. The Ten of Pentacles usually is, about like materialistic kind of ultimate fulfillment, with having like the house and the money and the car and the job and that kind of thing. But, I see it ultimately as you having the stability that you want with him. It's still like a happily ever after thing. It's still, very similar to like the 10 of Cups, for example, which is also ultimate fulfillment. But I do feel like that is available to you and you can have that. It'll probably happen after this transformation takes place, but that is a really good card to end things on, just to kind of say like, hey, this is where we're going to bookmark this for right now. And, this is definitely where things can arrive out of that situation. All righty. So I'm going to refresh Venmo really quick. I think we're good there for now. Yes, yes. Let me jump back to PayPal. I think Rachel is next. All righty. Yes, Rachel is next. And then KB, you are after Rachel. All right. So what is your question, Rachel? Let me scroll up and see what's going on. Where am I? Okay, your usual Venti love energy check. Alrighty. Sounds good. Let's do a little love energy check here for Rachel. Let's see what's going on. Get that Venti going. Let's pick it up. And then, like I said, KB, you will be next. And the chat is very quiet. Shh. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's get a little love energy check here for Rachel. What does she need to know? What's going on? All right. We have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is about balancing things, basically. It's about balancing multiple options or multiple responsibilities or just multiple things in general. It could be several choices, several options, that kind of thing. So it seems like you may be balancing a couple of different options, maybe when it comes to love, is what it comes down to. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean people. It could mean balancing different people, but it could also be like balancing different options as to like how you want to go about things, what you want to do, stuff like that, just pertaining to love in general, pertaining to your person. So, but it does seem like you're trying to make some decisions there, balancing some stuff. Let's see what else we need to know. We have the Queen of Swords. She's back. That Queen of Swords, the Ice Queen, is back. So I think we got a little bit of Elsa in the house here. Because that's what I think of when I think of the Ice Queen. I think of Elsa from Frozen. And, Elsa seems to be on a tangent lately because she's really been making it snow everywhere. She really seems to hate Texas, at least. But yeah, so you may have a little bit of an Ice Queen kind of thing going on here. Um, not, it's not that you don't want love or anything, because of course we all want love, but there may be a part of you that might feel a little shut off to it, simply because, the Queen of Swords, she is the Ice Queen basically because she's been hurt in the past, and that's something that isn't necessarily completely healed. So while she's very powerful, and while she has a lot of wonderful ideas and everything, because she is a woman of power, she is a queen, at the same time, though, there is a little bit of pain that is there, or she wouldn't be icy. It comes from her past. It comes from past pains. It's probably not something that has currently presently happened, but it's just stuff that may be kind of lingering around that she might be holding on to. So you might be holding on to some stuff, and that may be a debilitating factor if you are trying to make choices when it comes to love. It may be difficult in making that decision because, if you have a little bit of hurt and a little bit of residual pain that you're carrying around, that's not going to help you. It's definitely not going to be a benefiting factor in making decisions. That's for sure. Let's see what else we have here. Gee, we got like the same cards coming out over and over again. We got the Hanged Unicorn. That's back again. So maybe you yourself are the one who's going through a little bit of a transformation right now. You yourself could be in that cocoon, going from caterpillar to butterfly here, changing your perspectives, kind of going within and trying to figure it out. And I feel like if you are going within right now, it's once again revolving around the options, revolving around the choices that you have right now, dealing with love. It could be multiple people. It could be, do I want to give up on this person, or do I want to keep, holding on and going through? It could, whatever it is that you may be questioning, that you may be dealing with. But definitely seems like there are some choices here that need to be made. I wouldn't necessarily make it out of, hurt and pain here as the Ice Queen, but I don't think that you will, because you are kind of hanging out here, quite literally. You're kind of just like hanging back, trying to, do the right thing and digest it and process it and figure it out. So I do think when you do make a choice, it will come from the right place. It'll come from a good place that it needs to. And we have the Three of Cups. Interesting. So, maybe you are trying to make a decision between a couple of different people because the Three of Cups could definitely be a third party kind of situation. And, if we have the Two of Pentacles here, that could be about balancing multiple people. So yeah, maybe there are a couple of guys here that are vying for your attention who are interested in you, and you're trying to make a decision, which dude do I want? Which dude do I want? So it does seem like there are multiple people involved here. So there's definitely some decisions that are trying to be made. Who do I go with? What should I do? It's like Bella standing between Edward and Jacob. Who does she want? Are you team Edward or are you team Jacob? I don't know. Crazy love triangles. Let's see what else we got here. They almost want to all fall out again. And we have the Three of Wands. So I feel like kind of like your way of handling the situation right now is waiting for your ships to come in, basically, because that's what the Three of Wands is all about. This unicorn is just hanging out here, looking out at the water. The ship is out there in the ocean and it's waiting for the ship to come in. So I feel like that may be kind of your approach right now when it comes to making your decision, is kind of like your decision is not making a decision, basically. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to make a choice right now. I'm not going to make a decision. I'm going to see what comes to me. I'm going to see which ship comes to me, which is really funny because there are actually two ships on this card if you look at it. So it's like, oh, there's multiple guys. It's kind of like which one is going to get to the shore first? Which one is going to show up? Um, so yeah, I feel like that's kind of your approach right now. It's not necessarily being proactive, like, I'm definitely going to go with Bob. I'm definitely going to go with Joe. I'm definitely going to go with whoever. But it's more like, I'm just going to wait to see who comes in, who comes through, which is probably actually a good idea, because then it's not like, you're the one who's, being all pushy and that kind of thing. It's like you're kind of just letting nature, in a sense, take its course. Let's see what else we get. Once again, choices. We have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is once again about making choices. So this unicorn is clearly looking out here at all these different cups, and there's something different in every single cup, and this unicorn just can't decide which one to go with. It just can't. It can't decide. The Seven of Cups can sometimes also be about illusions. It can also be about, like, a little bit deceived in when we do make our choices, but I don't feel like you're deceived in making them. And I think it's important that, most importantly, you trust yourself, that you trust your gut, because no one can tell you what is going to be the best option for you and what's going to be like the thing that is going to work out the best. The only person who knows the answer to that question is you. So don't deceive yourself from a sense of thinking that you can't make the right choice, that you'll wind up picking wrong, because you won't. At the end of the day, you're going to pick exactly what's right. And even if something does go wrong, you don't need to worry about it, because every time we do take a wrong route, look at it as like Apple Maps. It's like you put in the directions to your destination. Even if you get off course, it's okay, because she's just going to reroute you until you get right back onto that track and you make it to your destination. You're just going to get rerouted. So you're always going to wind up exactly where you need to be. You don't need to worry about messing up or screwing up or picking wrong or anything like that. You're always going to be put back on track. God's got your back on that no matter what. But you got to make a choice, though. You got to choose, and you will choose ultimately what is best for you, and not just what's best for you, but for what's best in that time, in that moment. And you're the only one who knows better than anybody else. We all have big choices to make, and nobody else can make those choices for us but us. And once again, we got the Ten of Pentacles coming out here, which, once again, I think I'm going to leave it on this, because that's a great way to have a little happily ever after kind of ending. So I do believe that no matter what choice you make when it comes to love, it will lead you to happily ever after. It will lead you to ultimate fulfillment. It'll lead you to ultimate fulfillment with something that you can count on, because that's what Pentacles are all about. They're all about stability and reliability, security, someone being there, someone being your rock for you. So I do believe whatever happens, it's going to lead you to this. It's going to lead you to something very stable, very reliable, and something that's going to bring you joy and peace and love and blessings and all that good stuff. So, try not to worry about the details. The devil's in the details, basically, but I do think you'll get there. And I think it's really funny how sometimes that happens. It's like these similar cards just like to pop out. But I feel like that always happens because it's just like, usually whoever comes in is usually kind of like operating on the same kind of frequency. So it's like the same cards will just go boom, 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 kind of a thing. All right, KB, general reading for you, please. And I do believe you are next. Just going to refresh it here and double check. But that's what I got for you, Rachel. So hopefully that makes sense. Helps you out there a little bit. Just refresh this. Make sure we're all good. We are. Okay. All right, KB, general for you. Let's see what you need to know. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized I didn't pull any oracle cards for you yet. Rachel, you did order a Venti. Okay. KB, I'm going to go back to you. I got to pull some for Rachel in terms of oracle cards. I totally just realized that. I think I got all distracted because you popped in there and you were just like, oh, a general for me, please. I was like, oh, I must be on to the next one. I'm not on to the next one just yet. I just realized that. So I'm like, wait a minute. That's a Venti. I got to give her some more cards. So I'll get back to you on that in a minute, KB. So Rachel, let me pull a few more cards for you on this love thing really quick before I jump into KB. What oracle cards shall we go with is the question. All right, we're going to go with some Journey of Love, since we are checking on some love here. All right, see if anything else comes up about these choices here for you, Rachel. So I just noticed that. I was like, wait a minute. She ordered a Venti. I'm like, I don't want to cheat people out of their money and their orders. All right, let's see. Let's see if we get anything else about choices coming through here for you, Rachel. But let's see what we got. All right, we have cha-ching. Oh yeah, well I did say I was finishing. I should have clarified I was finishing on her tarot cards, because then there's still the oracle cards. Anyways, okay. What we got here next for you, Rachel? We got duality. Can we kiss and make up? So maybe this is part of those decisions that need to be made, basically going on here. So yeah, maybe somebody wants to reunite, reconcile, resolve some things between the two of you. And maybe that's where some of the decision making needs to be coming in. So there could be a little bit of that going on right now. Someone wanting to kiss and make up. Let's see what else comes in. Karma. What have we done? So with the karma card coming out, I feel like maybe some of the issue here when it comes to the decisions, it could be a couple of things going on. For one, like, I don't want to say like needing to make the decisions is karma, but it could be like maybe because there's so many different choices in front of you as to what to do and how to handle things next, or having multiple people to pick from. It could be connected to some karma that needs to be cleared. It could be connected to some karma contracts that need to be canceled out and taken care of. So there definitely seems to be some of that. And I feel like if you're having any fears about making these decisions, it could be coming out of karma that you've experienced in the past, which is, creating unnecessary fears, unnecessary doubts and concerns about, basically screwing up and causing more karma, which I don't think you will cause more karma. But there is definitely something here that is kind of like a little bit of a roadblock, kind of a little bit of a hiccup, because we got karma coming through. But that doesn't mean that you can't defeat it, that you can't get past it. People make a bigger mountain out of karma sometimes, and it needs to be, it's not the end all, say all, be all kind of thing. We also have confusion. We have grown. So Once again, you may be experiencing some confusion right now because of all these different options in front of you that you're dealing with, the choices that you have to make dealing with love right now. But always remember that God is not the author of confusion. So if it's confusing you, it's not the end of the story. It's not like the end all, see all, be all kind of thing. But the choices that you do have to make right now, the decisions you do have to make, it is helping you grow. It's helping you become stronger. And, just when it comes to like making more decisions in the future, it's going to help you be better prepared down the road and whatever it is that life has to throw at you when it comes to love. But try not to get down if you are confused about things. I feel like the confusion is just temporary. But you will get through it. It's making you stronger. There's a purpose in it. It may be frustrating. I get that. But confusion is never the end of the story. That's for sure. That's never the way the story completely ends. We have I'm lost without you, emptiness. So I do feel like, the person that you're dealing with right now does feel lost. He does feel depleted without you. I feel like that's definitely a part of the struggle. You probably feel lost without them too, and not necessarily knowing what to do sometimes. When we're directionless, we literally feel lost. So I do feel like there's this feeling of being lost between the two of you, but you're gonna find your way. The person who's feeling lost without you is probably also the same person here that would like to reconcile and would like to make things up to you and make things better, basically work things out. And we have clarity. I finally see, and I think this is the one officially official. I'm going to leave it on for you, Rachel, because I feel like this is the answer to your questions. All the questions of what should I do next and how should I handle this and am I going to make the right choice when it comes to love? You will. You will have clarity. Even if you don't right now, even if you still have all this confusion going on, it's like you may just have that light bulb moment and it's going to be like, oh, like angels singing. And you're going to be like, I know what to do now. It finally makes sense. It finally clicks. And, these cards, just even aesthetically, like they're very different from each other because this one's like super dark. This one's got like the sunshine and it's super light. And so, if you are kind of in a dark place when it comes to love, you're not going to be forever. The sun is going to come out again. The sun is going to shine. You are going to get the answers. You are going to get the clarity. You are going to know what direction to go into and how to handle the situation and what route to take when it comes to your person. If it comes to multiple people, the whole 9 yards. So you are definitely going to figure it out. So now hopefully the whole thing helps. Now that I remembered, I was like, oh my gosh, because I think the past two people before you only had Grandes. So that's why I was just like, oh, just tarot, tarot, tarot. And I was just like, oh, wait a minute, it's a Venti, which means I got to throw in some oracle cards there too. So now I think we're good. And now we can check in with you, KB, and do your general reading officially. Hi, Melissa. Welcome to the live. All right. General reading for KB. What do we need to know? Just general. Keeping it general here. Let's see what we got. All right, first card out. My gosh, we have these 5 of Pentacles coming back out again. So we've got some defeat going on here, some self-defeat, some self-doubt, some poverty mentality that's going on here. So I don't know if you're dealing with some of that right now yourself, but it seems to be going on right now that people seem to be in a place of self-doubt and just not trusting themselves. Which like I said, I understand. I was dealing with that a lot earlier this week myself, which was one of the reasons why I wasn't live on Monday, because I was like, I'm feeling horrible, so I'm not going to go live. But then I got my own little reading done on Wednesday, and I was just like, oh, yeah, I do need to trust myself more. So trust yourself. If you're feeling self-doubt, that's for sure. Trust yourself. That's very important. And we have the Two of Cups. So it appears that there is a partnership coming for you, a partnership on its way. Probably love, because that's usually what the Two of Cups is about. It can be about love, cups being filled with love and emotion and that kind of thing. Doesn't necessarily have to be, though, because I know, you were asking in general. Could also be like a business partnership kind of thing. But we'll see what comes out. We'll see if we get some more cards to clarify if that's like love or business. But definitely could be love, because cups of love, basically. But let's see what else we got here. Either way, there's definitely a partnership coming in there for you. Some kind of partner vibe. Ooh, we have a tower moment here. So that might explain some of the self-doubt and self-defeat that you may be experiencing lately. Because if your world has been shaken up here recently, it's probably that's probably what's creating some of this self-doubt and self-defeat and anxiety and that kind of stuff. So it seems like you may have been going through a tower moment, that something in your life has definitely come crumbling down that wasn't necessarily on stable ground. It was shaken and boom, it's just kind of like all falling apart. But who knows, sometimes it's through our darkest times here, through these tower moments, that bring in beautiful and amazing things like the Two of Cups. But let's see what else we get here. Let's see what else is going on. Spot on. I definitely have some options around me, though I feel my heart is with a specific one. Well, trust your heart then. Trust your heart. Just because you have a lot of options doesn't mean that you should be, going for them. Like for example, if you're hungry and you want to go out to eat, yeah, you have a lot of different options of what you can order. You can get burgers, you can get pizza, you can get Chinese food, you can get Mexican, you can get tacos. There's so many different options. I'm about to throw the cards around. There's so many different options as to what you can eat. But are you going to go eat every single thing? No. If the thing you're really craving, if what you're really craving is pizza, then who cares about all the other food? Go get the pizza. So if your person is your pizza, go get your pizza. And I'm saying pizza right now because that's what I had for dinner tonight. But it's a more simpler term of breaking down options. So yeah, not all options are going to be good for you. And like I said, some of those options could be illusions too. They could be distractions. They may not necessarily be what's right. So follow your heart. Your heart, your gut, it knows what's best. I'm ordering another Venti regarding how and what this specific one feels and thinks about me. Okay, cool. Getting back to KB though, let's see what else is going on with this in general. We got that tower, we got that Five of Pentacles, and we got that Two of Cups. What else is happening here? Oh, we got one that just flipped out. We got the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is all about crossing the waters, crossing the journey that's going on here, basically. Yeah, so it does seem like you are on a journey with a particular person yourself, because, that's one of the ways I really interpret this card, because, we have the two unicorns sitting here in the boat. And then we have the third unicorn in the back here, which I always look at as basically God, because, God is the one who has the oar, who is directing and guiding and leading the direction of this boat, basically, as they're making their journey across the water. So I do believe that there is a particular person you're meant to go on a journey with, which is where that Two of Cups comes in. But there's definitely something happening in your world right now that's had you shaken up here with the Tower moment and making you second guess a lot of stuff, feeling a lot of self doubt and self defeat, which, you don't want to let yourself go to this land. That's for sure. Even if things get shaken up, because, things happen in life, things get shaken up. I got moved to a different team at work, and I sort of had a mini meltdown last night. Well, maybe that meltdown is that Tower. Yeah, that's never easy. Hopefully the new different team at work is good. That can be a good thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. I didn't think I could do the job and wondering why they moved me. I wanted to stay with your group. Okay. Well, we'll see if anything else comes through. There's a reason for it. Is there a way you can still keep in touch, like with your old group of people, like still socialize with them? If you're being moved to another group, there could be like an opportunity or a blessing ahead for you with the new group that you don't even realize that could be there for you yet. But let's see what else comes through, because we do have that partnership card, like I said. And, if it's not in love, there could be a partnership at work. Who knows? You could find love at work. Could be that too. But let's see what else we got going on here. We have the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is about a fiery and passionate new beginning. So, if we're talking about like the situation with you at work and everything, there could be like a passionate and fiery new beginning for you in this new group environment that you may not even realize. But, since it's a page, it's not necessarily completely in action yet. It's not like come to fruition yet. It's just kind of like bubbling up there underneath the surface, kind of a thing. Your new group is in LA, but you're seeing it. What is going on here? That's so funny. Your new group is in LA and you're staying in Chicago. Okay, well, I'm in Chicago right now. I've been here since November, and one day I'll drive back to LA, which is where my actual residence is, which is funny because like right before I got onto this live, and I have to text my neighbor back after I'm done. She was sending me pictures of my mail. Like I got something in the mail from the DMV, which I'm pretty sure is my license and registration renewal. And then something from the IRS, I don't know, taxes or something, whatever. So eventually I do have to go back to LA. But I understand the whole LA Chicago thing. That's for sure. I get it. I do. I get it completely. And the snow here is insane because I have not seen this much snow in 15 years. I will say that much. I have not seen this much snow in forever. I literally had to carve out, like I had to shovel out this whole area for my dog to go potty because he's so small. It's insanity. All right, we have Justice. So, whatever it is that seems to be uneven and not balanced for you right now, whether it's in life and love and this career thing, whatever it is, you're going to have justice. Things are going to balance themselves out. Things are going to work out. This unicorn is literally holding the scales, where things are going to even themselves out. Things are going to work themselves out here. It's going to be fine. It is going to work out. So even if it seems confusing and it may not make any sense right now, and it feels like things are falling apart, you're having a little meltdown or whatever, it's temporary. It is definitely temporary. And now my dog is dreaming. I don't know if you guys can hear him. He's like going, yeah, okay, Shadow. He's dreaming. And we have the Hermit. So maybe what you need to do right now, especially when things get a little chaotic and a little twirly in our lives and everything, sometimes we just need to take a step back and go within and breathe and chill and just kind of, like gather our emotions again, gather our thoughts. And that's what the whole purpose of being in the Hermit is. So that may actually help you just kind of just like ground yourself, bring yourself back down to earth again with all the changes, because it seems like there are a lot of changes going on right now in general for you. So when there's a lot of changes going on, it's probably best to get into that Hermit mode. Let me get some oracle cards for you. What shall we go with? As I'm looking around. All right. We are going to go with the Soul Creators Oracle, because we're going to see what your soul is creating right now with everything that's going on around you. All right. Whether it's in work, in love, in life. What else does KB need to know? My gosh, that TV is so loud out there. What is my zodiac? I'm a Libra. I am, Libra, sun and moon Libra, and my rising is Scorpio. So there we go. So lots of Libra up in here. That's for sure. But as Libra as they come. All right. So we have got the spark of hustle. So, we were literally just talking about work for you, KB. And, I feel like even though this change, this kind of upheaval right now for you with the group change and all of that at work, it may be a little chaotic. It may be a little confusing. However, with the spark of hustle here, I feel like it's actually going to spark you to work harder and to hustle harder, and that this is going to be a positive change. It's going to be a good change. I don't feel like you're going to lose your friends and you're going to lose your community and your connections from your previous group that you were involved in. I feel like you're still going to have that, but I feel like you're going to be building more. Like you're going to be building more connections and having more people to, work well with and that kind of thing. So if anything, I feel like it's just going to, like spark the hustle to like work harder and get more things done and just be even like bigger and better in your job than you were before. Like I said, that partnership could be coming in there for you too. So yeah, that could definitely be possible as well. Let's see what else we got here. We have balance. Just simple, straight up balance. So maybe right now you're trying to find your balance, basically. You may be balancing it all, trying to figure it all out. But you just need to breathe and chill. Just relax. Just, balance things. And it will balance out. You had the Justice card that came out too, which is once again about balancing things. So you will find your balance. You will find a way of working this out. You seem to be like in this time of transition and change right now. And usually when we're in transition, we don't feel like we're in any kind of balance, but you are going to find your balance. Yep, the new team is always busy. It's hard to find breaks sometimes. I think you just need to find your rhythm in it because it is something that's new, but you will definitely find your way through it. You know, like for example, um, one of my best friends, she works for Wayfair. And when she first started there, she was like one of the call center representatives. So she would be like on the phone with people all the time. And then they switched her to being on the chat. And that was like this huge, big change for her, going from talking to people on the phone to just, typing with people, but it's virtually doing the same thing, just like in a different way. And, she's experienced the same kind of thing with like, people coming and going and team changes and that kind of thing. But I mean, she thrives in it though. Like she is like a Wayfair slayer. So, I mean, if you guys ever need a Wayfair hookup, I got someone who can hook you up with stuff there. Um, but, um, but yeah, so, I think the important thing is as long as you enjoy your job, as long as you love doing what you're doing, you'll find your rhythm, you'll find your place, and you'll feel it out and figure out what's going to work with you in terms of the people that you're working with too. You are a Pisces, Rachel. So your birthday must be coming up then, because we're like, what, Pisces season like just started or something. Like Aquarius just ended. So we are heading into Pisces. Gratitude again. So I think it's important for you to remember to just stay thankful and stay grateful through the entire process. Especially when we're going through changes and we're going from like one thing to another. It's important to remember what we have to be thankful for and just stay with the attitude of gratitude, because that's definitely going to carry you through. It's going to make a big difference. It's going to help you remember the things that you have going on in your life that's good, rather than focusing on what there is to be upset about or to complain about, that kind of a thing. So gratitude is always a good thing. It's always positive. The edge of evolution feels messy. So I feel like this is kind of where you're at right now with like that tower moment and everything. Things just feel like a mess. Um, but you're evolving. It's talking about evolution here. So you're evolving. You're evolving as a person. You're evolving on your job. You're evolving just in terms of what you're supposed to be doing in your day-to-day in life and your mission and your passions and all that kind of stuff. You're evolving. So yeah, it's going to feel like a mess, and it's going to feel like a tower moment going, ah! But that doesn't mean that, it's not going to work out. That doesn't mean that it's not going to calm down eventually, because it will. So, just hang in there. Hold on for the ride. You got this. And we have fill your cup with sacred giggles. Oh, I kind of love that. Sacred giggles. So I feel like this card is basically saying, like, find the fun. Find the fun again, especially when it feels like everything is messy and crazy. Sometimes we just need to like release the energy. And sometimes the best way to release the energy is to just have a good laugh. So, if you have like a favorite movie that makes you laugh like all the time, watch that movie. I know it's a Christmas movie, but like whenever I watch Elf, I laugh. I think it's funny. Like I sit there and I recite that whole damn movie from front to back. He goes, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I like just laugh and say the lines right along with him. So, if you have a movie or a TV show or something like that that makes you laugh, laugh. If you have like a friend that you guys share like a special private joke or whatever, reach out to that friend and be just like, hey, remember this, blah, 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 and have a good laugh. So I feel like it's important to just like find the fun and laugh in the middle of what you're going through. It'll help like lighten the mood, lighten your spirit. And then it's like, not everything has to be so serious. And sometimes we just take things a little bit too seriously. So have a good laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. They do say that. So I think they say that for a reason. So, So yes, laugh, laugh, laugh. Today started Pisces season. So until March 14th. Yep. So we're in Pisces season for a little while, which also means coming up March 14th, we're also heading into that anniversary of everything going into lockdown, which is so much fun. So here we are, and it's like, gee, what are you guys going to wear for the anniversary of staying in lockdown? I guess the best option is probably what? Pajamas, because that's all everyone's been wearing. Okay. All right. So KB, we got you. Let me double check what's going on here. All right. So we got Melissa and Rachel again. And let me just double check here on Venmo, make sure I didn't miss anything going on there. Okay, so all right, and we got one for Cwin as well. The nice thing about Venmo is it actually tells me how long ago someone sent something, because Cwin sent in her second one like 29 minutes ago, but PayPal doesn't tell me like the time, it just tells me the date. So it's hard for me to keep track who came in first. Okay. And you're very welcome, KB. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go back to Venmo and do Cwin first, because hers did come in like a half an hour ago, which I feel like was a while ago. And then I'll jump back to PayPal and take you, Melissa, and then Rachel, your second question. Okay. So, Cwin, your second question is, what is my twin flame thinking and feeling about you? You haven't talked since January of 2020 or seen each other since March 2019. Okay. Well, I completely understand. I do. I completely understand. Totally feel you on this one, Cwin. Okay. Well, let's see what he's thinking and feeling towards you. A little bit of venti action here for Cwin. Got hair sticking to me everywhere. I swear, my hair is like so static clingy in this environment. It's not even funny. I never have this problem when I'm in LA. And here it's like static everywhere. Oh, your birthday is March 14th. Oh, that's cool. Well, isn't that like kind of on the edge of like Pisces and Aries? Kind of like a cusp, I think, or it's getting close to a cusp. Maybe not exactly. But March 14th, that's Pi Day. That's Pi Day. So your birthday's on Pi Day. That's pretty cool. Either way, though, you still have a few weeks. Yes, laughter is definitely the best medicine. It is. All right. So, Cwin, let's see what you need to know, how he's thinking and feeling towards you, which I totally understand. I mean, the last time I heard from my person was when I first got here in November, and he's gone quiet on me since then. And the last time I saw him was like January last year. So it's been like a year and a month. Oh, so frustrating. But whatever. I'm here doing what I gotta do. But I understand. I hear you. Okay. How is he thinking and how is he feeling towards you right now? Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get here. I'm just shuffling. Do a good shuffle first. And we got the 6 of Wands, which is actually a pretty good start. because the Six of Wands is indicative of a time of celebration. It's kind of like these unicorns are out for a parade, basically. They got their wands, they got their wreaths. They're ready to go. They're ready to have a little party here. So it's a time of celebration. So, um, who knows? There may be like a time of celebration coming up between the two of you. So that's like a good way to kick it off. But let's see what else we got here. Let's see what else is coming through. It's definitely a good way to start, though. I mean, I would feel like that would imply he has good feelings, good emotions towards you. But let's see what else comes through. We also have strength. So, it has been a long time since you guys have talked. It has been a long time since you guys have, really had the chance to connect in the physical. So, that is really difficult when it's been a long time, but I think it's definitely proof and evidence that you guys are strong enough basically to get through that, that there is a lot of strength here. Like, I feel like within yourself. Oh, I'm yawning again. I don't know why I'm yawning. Like, I got plenty of sleep last night. What the hell's wrong with me? um, but I feel like you definitely have like a lot of strength, like within yourself, in terms of, pushing through and getting through the situation dealing with him. And you have like a lot of strength in this connection too. So there's definitely a lot of strength, which is good. That's a positive thing. Definitely a good thing as well there too. Let's see what else we get. We have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is definitely about a fiery, passionate new beginning. Sometimes the Ace of Wands can kind of be looked at as like a phallic symbol, basically. Sometimes it can even be interpreted as a one night stand. Hopefully, it wouldn't be that. Hopefully, he wouldn't just like want to come in for a booty call and then just leave again. I feel like the only way that would happen though is if you didn't put up boundaries, if you just kind of like let him walk all over you kind of a thing. But I do feel like he feels a lot of passion, he feels a lot of desire towards you. That's for sure. Because you got the Ace of Wands and you got the Six of Wands here, which, like I said, is that time of celebration. So his emotions appear to be positive towards you, which is a good thing, despite the time, despite the distance that you guys have between one another. Let's see what else we got. We also have the Three of Cups. So I don't know if you guys have a third party situation between the two of you, but if you do, if you're knowledgeable of one, I feel like this is kind of confirming that maybe part of the reason why things are not coming together right now is there could be a third element involved. And even if it's not another person, like let's say, he's not seeing anybody else, it could be like a third element in terms of just like an obstacle of some sort that needs to be overcome. There could be like an addiction or a mindset, or it could be like a family member or a friend or just some obstacle that could be in the way. So there could be some kind of third element here. It's kind of keeping him away right now. But yeah, so there could be a little bit of that happening as of this moment, which might explain why things have been quiet. And the third element doesn't necessarily have to be just on his end either. There could be stuff going on your end too. Because like I said, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a person. It could be a mind frame. It could be an addiction. It could be a whole bunch of different things. So, take it as however it is that fits and makes the most sense for you. Let's see what else we get here. We have the Two of Cups. So he definitely feels a lot of love for you. Once again, that partnership, two becoming one kind of a thing. So I do feel like he feels that way for you. So we got a lot of positive emotions coming out here, despite the fact that you guys have not been talking. Like, that's a good thing. That's a positive thing. There obviously has to be something standing in the way, which, like I said, could be like this third element here that is kind of slowing things up. Otherwise, I feel like, he would talk to you. There would be something going on because we have a lot of good stuff that's come through so far. But let's see what else we have. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So, the Wheel of Fortune is kind of about like things basically moving in your favor because, that's what fortune is. Fortune is about things going well, things going in your direction. It's about abundance, basically. It's about, things turning around the way that you want them to. So if things haven't been going the way that you want them to when it comes to him, which it sounds like it hasn't because it sounds like things have been pretty quiet, it won't be forever. That eventually, the wheel here, things are going to shift, things are going to change, things are going to move, and eventually it's going to go into the direction that you would like to see it in, and that you will have abundance, you will have blessings, you will have favor, you will have fortune when it comes to things dealing with him. Let me pull some Ocean of Emotion for you to kind of see where he's at in his feels, at least when it comes to you. Where is it? Where did it go? Where are you, Ocean of Emotion? Where did I put you? Cards over here and cards over there, cards everywhere. There you are. Okay. Move that to the side. All right. Let's see how he's feeling. How does he feel right now towards Siwen? How does he feel? We have Illuminate. Your light helped to guide me out of my darkness. So, once again, if you guys haven't been talking, which, it sounds like you haven't been, it's probably because he's been kind of trapped in his own shit and his own darkness and his own problems and his own issues. But the good thing is you do illuminate things for him. You do make things better for him. You bring brighter days and better attitudes. And it's like, you are the sunshine in the rain, basically. So you are a positive and good influence in his life. You make him feel good. You help him, realize good things, even if you're not talking to him, even if you're not really like doing anything dealing with him right now. Just you being you makes a huge difference. Aries starts March 21st. Alrighty. So we got a while for Aries yet, which is fine because we're just getting into Pisces, basically. It is Pisces season. Aquarius is just ending. All right. We have Please Forgive Me, Sorry. So I do feel like when he does come back around, he is going to apologize because I feel like he definitely acknowledges the fact that, hey, it's been a long time. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen you. It's been a long time since I've talked to you. I probably haven't exactly been like the best person on the planet towards you. But I am genuinely sorry. So I do feel like he will return, and he will return with a genuine apology, asking for forgiveness for you when he does do that. So that's a positive thing. Like I said, we're definitely getting all positive vibes here dealing with him. So that's a good thing. It's definitely a positive thing. Let's see what else we get. We got something that just fell on the floor. I gotta retrieve it now. Come here. Come here, cards. How many are there? Oh, is it just one? Yep, just one. Okay, so you got unhealthy. I need help. So this could basically be where he is at right now. That he needs to basically work on himself and get healthy. So, um, like earlier when it was the Three of Cups that came out, when I was saying that, the Three of Cups doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It could also be just like a mindset, a behavior. It could it could be an addiction. It could be a lot of those different kinds of things. So if there is like that third element that's involved, and if it's on his end, he could be working on cutting that out. Like if he has like an addiction of some sort, something like that, he could be, working on becoming a healthier version of himself, because right now, where he's been at, it may not necessarily have been the most healthiest version. And, if you guys aren't talking, if you're not seeing one another, it may suck in the meantime, but at the same time, you're probably also being protected from a lot of unhealthy shit that he may currently be dealing with. So it's kind of like you're being spared some extra pain and suffering that you may have had to dealt with him otherwise. And we have dark. I am afraid you're not going to want me if you see the truth. So, once again, kind of going back into the whole unhealthy thing, I feel like a lot of his unhealthiness is coming from this dark place, and that's definitely where he's been. But once again, when he thinks of you, things do get better. And there is illumination there, that you bring the brightness along, that you're the sunshine where there's darkness. You're the sunshine where there's rain and where there's pain and where there's all kinds of not so great things going on. So I do feel like, you definitely change that for him, and help alleviate some of that darkness that he feels. But I do feel like, at least as of right now in this moment, he's probably a little unhealthy and he's probably feeling a little dark. But I do feel like, that will change, that there is the opportunity for that to change, because his emotions towards you and everything is positive. He probably will come back with an apology once he gets out of, being shrouded in the dark, basically. Let's see what else we got here. We have Muse. You made me feel alive again, which makes sense, because if you are also illuminating dark areas in his life, it's probably because he sees you as his muse. You're like this inspiration for him, basically. You're an inspiration and motivation for him to get healthy, for him to get into a better place, for him to feel better about himself, and to do better, to rise up. So like I said, I feel like, overall, his emotions towards you, how he feels and how he thinks about you, is great. Like, he has nothing negative to say or think or be or anything dealing with you. I feel like if things are off and things are wrong, it has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with stuff that he has to figure out for himself. That if there's anyone he may have negative emotions towards, it just may be himself. And you have confidence. Everything will work out for us. I just know it. So, even though he may be dealing with a lot of his own shit right now, he does have the confidence that things will improve, that things will change, that he will shed his dark areas, and that he will go from unhealthy to healthy, that he will improve. And I think that reflects not just in the oracle cards that came out for you, but even in the tarot cards too. You know, you had like the Six of Wands there, the time of celebration and stuff. So I do feel like things will get there. I can't exactly tell you when, because I feel like that's kind of dependent on him and his progress, and like how hard he's willing to work at it, basically how hard you're willing to work at it too on your end. But I do believe, it is something that is achievable. It is something that can definitely happen. I feel like as long as people stay the narrow path, basically, and do the things that they need to do in order to get there. So hopefully that makes sense for you, Siwen. But I understand. I mean, it's frustrating, but most importantly, he has those positive emotions for you, so that's a good thing. All right, let me go back to PayPal. I think Melissa's up next. Yes, Melissa is up next. So what was your question, Melissa? I don't know if you mentioned it earlier. I'll scroll up. There we go, Melissa. I ordered a grande, so just general, please. General, no problem. Coming right up. General reading from Melissa. Oh, general love. Okay, general love. So it's a little tad bit more specific because it's with love. But you are very welcome. Let's get into it and see what we got. And then, Rachel, your second question is up after that. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. What do we need to know from Melissa in love? What's going on? All right. Well, you asked for love. You're definitely getting love because you got that Two of Cups. And, Two of Cups is all about partnership, two becoming one, two being a team together in life. So I definitely think that this is available for you, that there's definitely somebody out there who wants to have this with you. So that's a very positive way to kick things off. But let's see what else we got. What else do we need to know about that Two of Cups? What else is going on besides the fact that, yes, love. Let love come in. Let love do its thing. We also have the Hanged Unicorn. So it seems like you may be in a little bit of a transformation period of time right now yourself, in that little cocoon, going from the caterpillar to the butterfly kind of a thing right now. But I feel like whatever transformation it is that you're going through, whatever perspectives that are changing and shifting, it's all preparing you. It's all getting you ready for this. It's preparing you for that partnership, because this is going to be a good partnership. It's going to be a partnership that is healthy, that's divine, that's filled with unconditional love, joy, peace, all the good stuff that you want to have with another person. But I feel like in order to get there, there's, transformations that have to happen. It's kind of like that expression goes, if you're looking for the right person, if you want that right person, the first thing you have to do is become the right person. So I feel like that's kind of what you may be going through right now, is you're going through experiences and tests and trials and situations in life where you're learning how to become the right person. So that way, then you'll be ready when it's time for that right person and that partnership to completely manifest in your life. So yeah, not always the most fun thing to do, but necessary. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. All right. Alrighty. Well, that's good to know. We got cards that just want to jump out again, but that was too many that wanted to jump out. So let's see what else we have here. We have we have the Tower. So no wonder, no wonder you're like this right now. I feel like the whole reason that you may be in this transformation period is a Tower moment triggered it. I don't feel like this is necessarily coming. I feel like this has already happened. That something definitely happened, something kind of came crumbling down, and that wasn't necessarily on stable ground before. But even though this was difficult to go through and it was crazy and chaotic, and you may still kind of be dealing with remnants from this right now, it's caused you to go into that cocoon and start changing your perspectives and start developing and grooming yourself into becoming the right person, basically. So, tower moments suck, obviously, but they don't happen for no reason. As painful and frustrating as they are in the moment when they happen, in another sense of the word, they can also be our biggest blessing because they can bring amazing things to us later on that we never would have had if we hadn't gone through that tower in the first place. You were going to say it's painful. Yes, definitely. Tower is painful for sure. Hi, Jessica. Welcome to the live and welcome to the chat. All right, let's see what else we have here for you, Melissa. What else is going on besides crazy towers and hanging unicorns? We have the Ace of Wands. So I do believe that when this Two of Cups enters your life, it's going to be a very fiery, passionate new beginning. That this is not going to be just any ordinary love, that it's not going to be like dull and boring and blah and blah 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 blah, blah. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be a lot of chemistry. There's going to be a lot of passion, a lot of desire. So, I think it's safe to say that you guys will be very physically connected. That's for sure. I mean, of course, you'll be connected mentally and emotionally and spiritually as well, but you guys will definitely be connected on that physical level. Like I said, a lot of readers also interpret the Ace of Wands as kind of like a very phallic symbol. So someone's pee-pee may be coming for you. It's the best way to put it. But yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of fire and a lot of desire and passion. And sometimes like I get frustrated with that myself. And I'll just kind of be just like, well, what if like the right person comes along or whatever, and I'm not even attracted to him, and I think like he's ugly and all this other kind of stuff. And then I'm like, why am I even thinking something like that? Like, that's ridiculous, because it's like, if you're not attracted to someone, you're just not attracted to them. And you can't be with them, because then it's like, it's like what you have is a friendship. You don't like, that's not that kind of connection. So I don't think you have to worry about that. You're not going to have that kind of problem. There's definitely going to be, it's going to be there. It's going to be very mutual. That's for sure. Whether it's with someone completely new, or even if it's someone who's coming back that maybe you had like a connection with before. But it'll definitely be there. That's for sure. Oh, thank you, Jessica. I really appreciate that. Let's see what else we have here going on. I also have this lovely Christmas tree still sitting next to me here. It's February 19th, and I don't care. I really don't. There's tons of snow outside, so I'm rolling with it. Okay, we also have the King of Pentacles. So I believe that this dude that you're going to have this Two of Cups with, and there's going to be a lot of fire and passion and desire with as well, he's going to be a stable dude. He's going to be your King of Pentacles. So he's going to be stable. He's going to be secure. He's going to be reliable. The King of Pentacles, he is someone who's, definitely within his power and in his authority. And he is somebody who, he's basically like the dad figure is what it comes down to. Not that Not that he's gonna be like your dad. I mean, unless you're like into that kind of thing and you're really like, hey, daddy. But bottom line is though is like, he's a stable dude. He's a loyal and loving partner, like husband in life. He's a good dad to the kids. um he's a stable, solid person on the job when he works. So he's just an all-around good guy, very reliable kind of person. So he's definitely going to be that when he does come along into the picture. So it's like you'll have the best of both worlds. You're going to have someone who's stable and someone who loves you and is very passionate. So, all of this stuff that you're going through right now, it'll be well worth it. It'll be well worth it in the end. That's for sure. Let's see what else we got here. And my dog is like going to sneeze or something. He's making weird noises. And we have the Queen of Cups. So I feel like he's going to see you as the Queen of Cups. He's going to see you as somebody who has just like so much love to give and, is just filled with unconditional love. And the other thing about the Queen of Cups is not only is she very kind and very generous in giving her love away to others, but the reason why she's able to do that is because she has a crazy, ridiculous amount of love for herself. She's very good with her own self-love and not, in a conceited or selfish kind of way. But she definitely doesn't deprive herself of her time. So I feel like he's going to, recognize that in you. He's going to recognize the fact that you have love and respect for yourself. And because of that, you have a lot of love and respect for others. Let me get one more for you. I think you got a Grande. I'm getting things confused tonight as to who got what. I'm like, Grandes, Ventis, who's what? Yes, you did get a Grande. So one more card for you, and then I'm going to head on to Rachel with her next Venti. Alrighty. One more card for Melissa, although I will say this much. What I'm seeing here is just a really cool love story is what it comes down to. It's epic. It's like you got like the craziness and the chaos and the transformation, but then you have this beautiful thing that kind of all comes together later on, with your stable, solid, passionate dude. That's been my year. Last year, learning to love myself. Well, it is working. I think it's definitely working because that's exactly what the Queen of Cups does. She loves herself. She's got that love and respect. So the last card that you got, and lucky for you, it came out upside down. We have the Three of Swords. See it right side up. But it's upside down, which means this is going to end. Any heartache, any pain, any suffering that you have had, it's going to go away. So any pain and any suffering that you've had coming out of this tower moment that's created, this need to kind of go into your little cocoon, this is gonna end. This is done. This is gonna wrap itself up. It's finished. So bye-bye heartache is what it comes down to, which makes sense because if you're gonna have this stable, solid, awesome dude come along out of it, if becoming the right person is going to attract in your right person, of course there's not going to be heartache anymore. So I would say you're doing pretty good. You just need to stay on the right track of what you're doing, and it's all going to come together and make sense in the end. All right. So Rachel, we are on your second question. What was your second question anyway? I need to scroll up and double check so I don't miss anything. And your birthday being on Pi Day. All righty. Okay, there it is. I'm ordering another Venti regarding how and what the specific one feels and thinks about me. Okay, so this would be the one that, you got all your choices, but this is the one that your heart really kind of leans towards. You're very welcome for the laughs, Melissa. I try to keep my readings not just, real and true and honest, but I always try and, add a little bit of flair and pizzazz if I can, just because it's just like, hey, if you got to deliver something, you might as well make it fun and amusing. So, um but yeah, you will definitely get there for sure. And that's the other thing too. We always make like such a big deal being on a spiritual journey. Like it can be so heavy duty and just dealing with this and dealing with that and all these different changes. If you don't find laughter in it, and I think that other card came out earlier about the giggles or whatever. If we can't find ways to like laugh through this, like, what a horrible way to live life. Like, I don't know what I would do if I couldn't laugh about things. We got to be able to do that. Got to be able to laugh about things. But okay, Rachel, let me get into your thing for the specific person that you have on your mind with all these different choices. So we're basically going to see, let me just scroll back up really quick to see how he thinks and feels about you. Okay. All right. So for Rachel, how is this one specific dude out of all the different options? How is he thinking and feeling towards her? Which, understandable. It would be helpful to know that because I'm sure if you knew that, it'll help you make your decisions better. So that totally makes sense. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here for Rachel. And let's see. Just double checking here on the chat super quick. Yes. Okay. All right, Rachel. Let's see what he thinks. Let's see how he feels. We have the Empress. Ooh, that's a good one. Because the Empress is the embodiment of all the queens, every single one of them. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. She's all of them. So she has all the qualities of all the different queens. She's basically the one you want to be. She's amazing. She's awesome. So considering we're asking how he thinks of you, what he feels about you, he probably sees you as a pretty awesome person. He definitely holds you in high regards. He may even put you on a pedestal a little bit if he sees you like in this kind of light, but he definitely sees you in a positive light to have that pop out right off the bat. So that's a good thing. That's definitely positive. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see how else he thinks and feels. We also have the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving, basically. It's kind of like pretty much whatever it is that you put out there, especially when it comes to relationships, you would hope that whatever it is that you put out there and whatever effort you put in towards somebody else, you would hope you would get the same amount back in return, that there would be an even give and take. So I do feel like if you were to decide to go with this person, for example, out of all of your different options, I do feel like if you chose to go with him, there would be an even give and take. There would be an even exchange that would go on here, which would make sense because he does, once again, hold you in high regards. He sees you as the Empress here. So I do feel like the exchange between the two of you would be even. It would be positive. So that's definitely a good thing too. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else is going on. We have the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like he looks at you as someone who works hard because that's what the Eight of Pentacles is about. It's about hard work. is putting in the hard work and the hard effort, and working towards your goals basically. So I feel like he definitely sees you as someone who does that, which makes sense because the Empress, she doesn't just sit around on her fanny all day. She's queen, she's the embodiment of queens for a reason, because she works hard. She puts in a good day at work, and she comes home and she takes care of the kids, and she takes care of her husband, she takes care of her house, she runs her business, she does it all. So she's not lazy. She works hard. She works hard for the money. So I feel like, he definitely sees you as someone who is a hard worker, someone who's a go-getter, someone who's definitely like out there making a difference in the world, that, you're not just like some kind of mooch sitting around on a couch watching, TV all day or anything like that. So I feel like he sees you as someone who's a hard worker. Ooh, you're gonna like this one. Four of Wands, 11-11 union. So I do feel like if you made the choice once again to go with this guy, the one that, your heart leans towards, like I said, who cares about all the other options that are going on out there? Just because you have options doesn't mean they're all good options, Um, it's like you could go out there and test drive a bunch of different cars, and you may be, like car shopping or something, but that doesn't mean every car is the right car. Like a whole ton of them could be lemons as well. They may not even run right. So you want to pick the one that's going to run right and it's going to be good for you. And if this is the one where your heart is at, trust your heart, trust your gut. It knows what's best for you. So if this is where your heart is leaning, go for it, because you'll have this. You'll have 11-11, Four of Wands union, happily ever after. So I feel like he does have those emotions for you. He does feel that way towards you. So your hearts are on the same page, basically. Two of Cups. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Now you got the Two of Cups and you got the Four of Wands. So you got that partnership. You got the Four of Wands, 11-11 union. So, once again, if your heart, it's so funny. I'm literally thinking of that episode, that super old episode of Full House right now, where Stephanie had a crush on this kid named Brett, and she was like, oh, I can, I like, my heart is literally beating his name, and she would put her hand on her chest and she would be like, Brett, 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 Brett. So if your heart is like literally beating his name, I don't know what his name is, but whatever his name is, if that's what your heart is beating, trust that, because chances are his heart is beating your name as well, because you got both of these cards coming out. Like, that's crazy. Those are crazy odds, and like crazy good odds. So, you guys are on the same page. You're sharing the same wavelength. Like, that's a good thing. I mean, I'm jealous. I wish this was a reading for me, because I'm like, well, damn, I could use some Two of Wands or Two of Cups and Four of Wands, 11-11 union. Like, why can't it be like that for me? So, go for it. That's friggin' awesome. Go for it. Go for it. You guys are on the same page. And we have the 10 of Wands here, which is about carrying burdens. And I feel like the whole carrying burdens thing, I feel like that's like carrying leftovers from all those decisions that you're trying to make, basically. So, don't let self-doubt, don't let the decisions that you're trying to make, don't let any of that external outside noise become a burden to you. Because I definitely feel like if you're feeling burdened, that's where it's all coming from. It's coming from all that stuff. So no more burdens. You got to let that shit go, basically. Because he's feeling pretty good towards you. Like, this is all really good. Let me pull some Ocean of Emotion to kind of see like where he's at and what he's feeling too. But so far, you got some good stuff coming out there. That's for sure. Good, good, good stuff. All right. How is this dude feeling towards Rachel? Yeah, big time purple hearts for sure. Big time. Good stuff. Let's see how he's feeling. Let's get a little bit deeper here. Let's dive in. Dive into his ocean of emotions. What are his oceans of emotions like? We have determined I'll never stop trying to do better. So I feel like he's a pretty decent dude. He's someone who definitely has integrity, basically, that he's always trying to rise higher and do better. And I feel like he does this, partially for himself and just like his own life. And he wants to, be the best version of himself and live his own best life. But I feel like he also is determined because of you, because you are of an inspiration to him. And, you did have the Empress that came out there. So, he feels determined because he wants to meet you where you're at. He wants to be the emperor to your empress, basically. So he's never going to stop working on himself, and he's never going to stop, rising higher and doing what's right and living in integrity. So he's definitely determined. And I feel like, if you were to make your decision to go towards that situation, he would be determined to have it work out with you, to work things out, and if you guys have challenges or disagreements or whatever it is down the road, he is going to be determined to work through those things so you guys can have a successful, long-term committed relationship. So he's determined. That's a good thing. We also have seductive. Every night in my dreams, you seduce me. So he's definitely turned on by you. He's clearly physically attracted to you. I'm sure he's attracted to you, body, mind, and soul, but the body part is definitely there. So he's definitely feeling you on that physical level. And, men in general are very visual creatures. So your visuals are very pleasing to him, basically, is what it comes down to here. We also have Muse. You made me feel alive again. So you are a muse to him of sorts. I almost dropped half the deck again. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you are a muse to him. So you inspire him. And, once again, if he's feeling determined to rise higher and do his best and be his best and live his best life, it's because somebody being you is his muse. He has inspiration, he has motivation, he has a reason to be determined, and you are that reason. So all positive stuff, all good stuff. And I love it when this happens. I love it when at least cards come out that definitely support that. It's like, hey, yeah, it's not all just you. You're not just, some crazy person who's got wishful thinking. Like, no, this person legit has good feelings towards you. And I know it can be confusing because sometimes they don't always necessarily step forward and express those feelings the way that we would like them to, but that doesn't mean that they're not there. So, they call it women's intuition for a reason. Trust it. We got it. We also have support. I want to be the one who stands beside you and assists you in all of your success. So, similar to like the determined card with him wanting to rise higher and do better to live his best life. He wants to do the same for you. He wants to be supportive of you. He wants to work together as a team with you. And the thing is, you get together with this guy. Yeah, there's going to be like good times, but there's going to be times of struggle too. And times of struggle may not even necessarily be with one another. There could be financial hardships or things that you go through with your families or health scares and all kinds of different stuff. But regardless, I feel like he's saying He wants to be there for you. He wants to be there with you. He wants to be there with you when you guys are at the top of the mountain and when you guys are down in the valleys. He wants to be there for you when it's raining and pouring and snowing and blizzarding outside, and also when it's sunny and beautiful and gorgeous. So it's like through the good, through the bad, through the ups and the downs, through the thick and the thin, he wants to be there. He wants to be supportive. He wants to be a teammate with you in life, a partner with you in life, not just your best friend, not just your lover, but your partner, your lifelong partner in life. That's really what it is all about. And we have, I'm just really busy working. So I feel like maybe the space that he's in right now currently is he's just really busy working. And I mean, this could be like quite literal, like with his job, he could be working. But one of the other things I feel like he's really working really hard on, once again, is going back to this determined card. He's determined to like be the best version of himself and live his best life and be the best version of himself for you, basically. And that takes a lot of hard work. It doesn't come easily. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's not something that you can just, like wake up the next day and be just like, oh, I'm a completely new and different person and my life is all good and wonderful. It takes time. It takes work. So I feel like he's just, hard at work on himself, hard at work in his life, could be hard at work, quite literally at work. But he's working. So if sometimes it doesn't necessarily always come across, maybe sometimes when you guys interact, maybe it doesn't always come across that, he's super supportive, or maybe it doesn't always come across that, he finds you seductive or whatever. And maybe you're just like, well, he's not acting this way. He's not saying these things or doing those things. It's not that he doesn't feel that way. It's just, once again, he's busy working. He's working on it. And that's the thing too, sometimes with men is, sometimes they don't really want to come together completely and 100% until they feel like they have it all together. Usually for us, it doesn't matter to us. Like, their lives could be a complete mess and we would embrace them and accept them regardless, because we love them unconditionally. And it wouldn't matter if, they were starving, homeless, broke, whatever. We would still be there for them because we love them. But to them, they can, they look a lot more like the world, and it's like, hey, I need to be a strong provider, I need to be a strong protector, I need to do this, I need to do that. So, their hearts are in the right place, they have the right intentions, but sometimes they can go a little overboard with that and not allow room in then for us to, in a sense, be there to support them because they're so focused on being the support themselves. But definitely needs to be an even exchange, it needs to be equal. That's the best way that it works, is that if it's equal. And we have, I don't know how to fix the pain in my heart, broken. So he may be dealing with a little bit of his own heartache and a little bit of his own pain right now, which, could be tied to what he's working on with what he's working on repairing. But I don't feel like if he is dealing with any pain or any kind of broken heart, I don't feel like that's connected to you. I don't feel like that has anything to do with you. I feel like that may be stuff from his past or just things that he has to deal with within his own self. But overall, though, his feelings towards you are good. And I feel like he would definitely work with you to, grow and nurture and develop this relationship and help it go in the right direction. So, once again, if you're facing a lot of choices here and you don't know exactly what to do and what to decide, but this is the one that your heart is leaning towards, this is the one that you feel is right for you to go with. Number one, always trust your gut. If that's where you feel like you want to go for it. Go with it. Do it. And I mean, the cards definitely seem to express and support the fact that he's on the same page as you. That's for sure. But yeah, just trust yourself is what it comes down to, because you never know. You never know what might happen. It might turn out to be pretty pretty good, amazing thing. All righty. Let me double check and see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody here. But that is your second one, Rachel. Let's see what we got here. All right, we're good on PayPal. Yes, yes. PayPal is all beautiful. Let me check Venmo really quick. I think we got everybody though. Yes, we did. And that was weird. Like my next door app randomly went off too. Oh, well, this has nothing to do with readings, but no what? I was like, why is the next door app on my phone going off? It never goes off. And I mean, I'm not there right now, but it says urgent alert, armed thief warning. The man pictured has broken into our building. Not my building, some other building, but it's like a block away from where I live. Okay. Well, that's not good. I'm 2,000 miles away. Nothing I can do about it right now, but that's kind of crazy. Anyway, I think that's basically it for readings tonight, you guys. I don't have anybody else that's come in for a paid reading, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. But before I do, I think I'll pull a couple little Sacred Creators Oracle cards just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a general message, general kind of inspiration to kind of go into the weekend with whatever it is that you may need to know for the weekend. So I think I'll just wrap it up on that note and then kind of wrap it up for the night. But I definitely appreciate you guys stopping on by. And, as always, give this a big thumbs up. That definitely helps out. And, when I do go live, if my stuff resonates with you guys, share it with your friends. More people are welcome to come in too and participate in the lives as well. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell, of course, so you always know when I'm going live. You'll never miss out then. That's for sure. And yeah, let's see what else we got. And I have a pick a card all locked and loaded, ready to go for tomorrow. It's not a love related one, but it's a fun one. It's a unique and different one. It's not love, but it is going to be fun. So you'll see when I publish it tomorrow, but it's ready to go. It's already recorded and ready to go. But it's a good one. All right, we have, for what we need to know this weekend, choose who you are becoming. So it seems like a lot of us are in the process of becoming whoever it is the hell we're meant to become, basically. So, and that's just life. I feel like that goes beyond the weekend. We're all changing, we're all growing, we're all developing, but we're all becoming ultimately who we're meant to be. And I feel like the people that we're becoming, who we're evolving to become into, it's a good thing. So we should embrace that. We should, celebrate that. So yes, by celebrating it and embracing it, we are choosing it, which, who we are today is better than who we were yesterday. And who we're going to be tomorrow is going to be better than who we are today, right now. So, we're always constantly evolving, and we should be. We shouldn't stay the same person the rest of our lives. That would show absolute no growth whatsoever. We also have raw intention. So I feel like this is basically just a reminder to set your intentions this weekend, on basically what it is that you want for your life, whether it's as simple as how you want this weekend to go, to how you want next week to go, to how you want things to go at work or in your relationships or in your friendships or in your family or whatever it is. But set your intentions on what you want to have happen in your life, because intentions is half the battle. And, intentions is just like another way of saying motives, basically. Like, make sure that your motives are pure, make sure your motives are right too. Don't try and do things out of like selfish reasons or, sneaky reasons or anything like that. Try to come from a pure and good heart when you set your intentions, because if you do, you're always going to be blessed. You're always going to get good things happening going on in your life. You know, like what you put out there is what you get back. So set those intentions in a good and positive way. We have fill your cup with sacred giggles. And I was just talking about that earlier, you guys, that laughter is the best medicine. So laugh a lot this weekend. Watch a funny movie, watch a funny TV show, share some laughs with some friends, exchange some private jokes, something like that. Look at a meme that makes you laugh. I mean, hell, when I first got on here and I went live, I went straight to funny right away because I was like, I'm here live. I'm not a cat, because I was thinking about that funny Zoom meeting that happened not that long ago. That lawyer who was supposed to be on Zoom for a court date, and he had it stuck on the cat filter, and that thing's gone viral, and it's just hilarious. And I could not stop laughing at it. So yeah, make sure you laugh a lot this weekend. Laughter is so good, and if you are having like any bad vibes or any bad energy, or you've been around somebody who's been stressing you out or whatever it is, it's going to help break some of that up. It's going to help get some of that out. So it's really important to laugh. It's so incredibly healthy. Let's see. And we have the now. So I feel like that's basically saying just be here, be now, be present. Try not to live too much in the past, and don't live in the future either. Usually if we find ourselves getting into more of a depressive kind of state, it's because we're living in the past. If we find ourselves getting into anxiety and worries, we're living in the future. But if we live in the now, if we live in the present moment, we will find peace, we will find joy, and not only that, but there's a lot of good things happening in the here and now. And you may miss out on that. You may miss out on certain blessings and certain little sparks of joy if you're too consumed with the past or with the future. So try to live in the present. And we have unstick the stuck. So if you have felt stuck in any way, shape, or form in any area of your life, maybe take the time, the opportunity now to get unstuck. And, that could be brainstorming different ideas and different ways of doing that. It could be spending time in prayer and meditation to get out of that, but there's definitely always a way to get unstuck. No one wants to stay in the same position forever. We all eventually have to move forward because the world is always moving forward. And, if we're not moving forward too, we're just going to be left behind and stay stuck. And that's never a fun position to be in either. And we have nourish the sacred feminine. And I know that most of the people who wind up tuning in and watching me are typically feminines or typically women. So definitely nourish that sacred feminine. Do some self-care for yourself, get your hair done, get your nails done, buy yourself a nice outfit, whatever it is that you need to do. For myself, earlier this week, I did a self-care day on Wednesday. I went and I got a reading for myself because I'm terrible at doing readings for myself, even though I can do them for other people really well. It's like a blind spot for me. I can't read for myself. So I went and I got a reading for myself from someone I didn't even know. I wanted a completely fresh perspective, because sometimes I feel like even if someone like knows you and they're like a friend and they're reading for you, sometimes there can be a bias there because they know you so well. So I wanted someone completely different, like a brand new thing altogether in person. And I did that. And then after that, I did like this energy balancing session where it was just like a healing kind of thing. Like it just kind of cleared a lot of crap and energy out of me that I needed. And it was definitely really good for me. So, do the same thing for yourself. Nourish yourself, however it is that looks, however it is that works for you. So take some time this weekend to take care of yourself, tap into that feminine energy. pick up some pink tourmaline, because that's something that I did. I picked up some new crystals, and one of them was a pink tourmaline, and that one is actually really good for feminine energy. So if you want to work on your own feminine energy, pick up a little pink tourmaline somewhere. That may help you. So anyway, I am going to wrap things up here, you guys. It's just kind of like a little overall general for everybody here and what they may need to know for this weekend. But I really appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out here with me tonight. I always have a lot of fun doing these lives, so they're super cool. And I do plan on being back on Monday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, as always. And like I said, I have a new pick a card that I'm going to have up for you guys tomorrow, so that'll be here. And that's basically it. So I hope you guys are doing well. Mind blown speechless? What are you speechless about, Rachel? I would love to know before I officially sign off here. But yes, speechless. And my little doggy Shadow is over here too. He's been sleeping this whole time. I'm thirsty. I think I need to get some water or something like that by the time I'm done and I get off of here. But anywho, yes, indeed. Oh, and he's starting to dream now too. Anywho, like I said, I think I'm going to wrap things up though. But I always appreciate you guys coming on out. So like I said, make sure you're doing all that liking and subscribing and all that good stuff, because it definitely helps me out. I'm still slowly trying to make that climb there to 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours so I can actually get super chats up on here. But I appreciate all the love and everything in the meantime. And now I should probably text my neighbor back to find out what that mail is that came for me and figure out what's going on there. But anyways, I will see you guys on Monday night for the next live. And I hope you guys have a beautiful and amazing weekend. So, mwah, I love you guys. I will see you on Monday. And I hope you guys have a safe and beautiful, amazing weekend. So keep sparkling, and I will see you next time.